Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and we are back with more promises to keep! Oh my god. You'll have no idea how excited I am to hear this theme again. It's been so long. Now, I have a feeling, because I finished Rofi's update within 2 videos with some extra time to spare, that I'm most likely going to finish Theo's route in that exact same timing. So, if the next video finishes early, I'll be utilizing some of that extra time to try to find that missing CG, which, don't think I didn't forget. I didn't forget about trying to find that CG. I'm going to find that CG even if it's gonna kill me. But that also means that we're gonna be going back to Dawn Chorus next week. And I'm not going to be abandoning Silverstone. I'm gonna be, like, kind of intermingling between those two. You know, until any updates come out about any other things. Oh, actually, no, wait, no. October. Halloween season. Oh, Halloween season's gonna be so much fun. Okay, if y'all have any Halloween recommended or, like, spooky themed visual novels you want me to play, please let me know. I already got, like, 2 in mind. One is All Under Control, which is Mr. Jimmy the Floop's visual novel, which I heard nothing but good things about. And then we have the upcoming Image 1697, made by the wonderful Retro Raven, who is the creator of The Curious Case of Route 19, so go ahead and check that out. So yeah, I'm excited to check that out. I think they said that it's going to be released, like, hopefully a little bit before Halloween, so that way people have time to play it during Halloween, which, if I get this right, I'm going to play that immediately, and then hopefully upload the video on Halloween. Actually, I don't even know what day Halloween is on. But yeah, if you have any other, like, horror visual novels, or in fact, maybe even, like, a little bit of, like, indie horror games you guys want me to play for that month. But anyway, I've been talking for so long. We're back with Promises to Keep, and we're gonna be back on Theo's route. Oh my god, I am so excited for this one. Now, as you know, Theo has a fucked up childhood. Actually, I think a lot of them have fucked up childhoods. But yeah, there's a lot of Bible thumping with Theo's childhood. Okay, judging from Rofi's updates, this is gonna be from Theo's point of view. I remember. If each route is structured similarly, then this is gonna be Theo. So I better do his voice really good. The sounds of clattering reels and spinning film. An old projector spurs once more to life, dragging the weary film of memory through its reels once more. Oh, damn! The house is a bit more run down. First, an establishing shot. A familiar kitchen, only slightly different. The walls unfinished, the cabinets sparse and damaged, the grass outside green. An expected scene, holding its breath for a centerpiece. Oh my god, it's MJ! We all know this diva. I mean, we don't even know her at all, but what we do know is that she's probably the only prominent parental figure in Theo's life, despite her being his aunt. And there she is, sunlight reflecting off of her like fallen snow. She turns as I walk in the door and smiles. Oh my gosh, she does a sprite too? I love this! I love her. She's diva. Oh my god, should I give her like a southern accent? Because, honestly, my voice can only get so high. There he is. The prodigal son himself. What the? Oh my god, the scrunkly! He looks so cute! Oh my god. I better give him, like, the little kid Jack voice. Hi, MJ. Well, come here and give me my hug, or else you don't get any coffee. First, the expected display of exasperated reluctance. Then the yearn for embrace. She feels thinner than last time. Each hug, there's less and less to hold on to. Every time I see you, you look skinnier. I have no words to offer in response, so I shrug. Her eyes comb me like searchlights, looking for sailors lost in the waves. How are you, Theo? I'm fine. You always say that. Maybe I'm always fine. He's not starry eyes. Maybe you are. She pulls my mug out of the cupboard and fills it with steaming hot coffee. Thanks. You are very welcome. I take a massive, horrifying glug, then force myself to set the cup down. I can't appear too eager. It's good to see you again. Been a while since you stopped by. Hasn't been that long. My stomach growls, but I time the straight of my chair to cover it. It's been 2 months. Wait, really? Yes? Last month I made a reservation for Thai and you forgot. And this month's movie night, you picked up an extra shift and didn't tell me. Right. If I didn't know any better, Theo, I think you were avoiding me. Come on, Em, you know that's not true. I've just been real busy lately, that's all. Neither of us believe me. Mm-hmm. She holds out a paw for my empty mug, I can't help myself, and refills it. You talked to your landlord yet about the laundry? Not yet. Why not? If you don't wear the same outfit every day, you need a functioning washer and dryer. I'm behind on rent, so I'm gonna wait until I catch up before I ask him anything. Even with all those extra shifts, you're still behind? I avoid her eyes. Bean pour's expensive, you know that. I do. Anyway, I'm still waiting for Daryl to let me tend bar, like he keeps promising. I'm missing out on tip money. Well, maybe if you looked less like a haunted scarecrow, he'd feel better about standing you up in front of his customers. Thanks for the advice. Real helpful. She sets her empty mug down, all business. Just aside, Theo, you look a mess. Even worse than last time. Are you trying to make me worry about you? No, obviously not. My stomach growls again. Her eyes narrow. And quit picking at your star. That thing is years old and it still looks like it'll open up any second. Jesus Christ, okay! Anything else I'm doing wrong? The tension. Look, I didn't invite you here to argue. Could have fooled me. Just promise me you talk to your landlord, okay? And next time I see Daryl, I'll have a chat with him about getting you behind the bar. If it's the rent that's the problem, I can help. No. I told you already, I don't need your money. Harsher than I intended, but the harshness slips out so easily. Alright then, no loans from your aunts. Not even as a birthday present? My birthday is months away. An early birthday present? Alright, it was worth a try. Let's stop talking about me. What have you been doing wrong lately that I can pick on? Depends on who you asked. Oh, I fucked up my elbow the other day messing with the plumbing. I did tell you to hire a plumber. You did. Was it your bad elbow? It was my bad elbow. Figures. But the upstairs toilet is finally functional, and all it cost me was one elbow. And you know the plumber would have asked for an arm and a leg. That gets a chuckle out of me. This old house is coming alive bit by bit, especially now I've moved all the furniture in. I'm sure you've noticed a few familiar pieces. I look down at the pot-marked surface of the reliable old table. You could have gotten a new one. I say, tapping the wood with a claw. I pretty much ruined this thing. Nonsense! It just bears your marks, that's all. Yeah, from my old homework. Nothing important or interesting. It's your childhood, Theo. A time I remember very fondly. Hamlet's one of us. You can just toss it doesn't matter. She sighs good-naturedly. She was always so endlessly patient. When I see this table, I think of you. Why would I throw it away? Regardless, it fits well with this kitchen setup. Obviously it needs some TLC, but this old house still has plenty of life. And to think they were gonna knock it down. Still not sure why you bought it. Seems like more work than anything else. The work is the point. I'm doing something constructive. Labor I can clearly see the fruits of. rather than just working to stay alive. She fixes me then, with a gaze I cannot hold. My heart jumps, and I feel the coffee's first violent kicks on my empty stomach. Ouch. Before I ask the question, something tells me it's a bad idea. I ask it anyway. How's Joe? Haven't seen her in a while either. Neither have I. Theo, we call it quits. I twitch, as if stunned. What? Why? She stares at me evenly. You know why. I know why. I want her to move on. To find someone else she could shack up with. We got a lesbian diva? Oh, hell yes. Wait a minute. Isn't she dead? Diva down! Fuck. This is bullshit. For the long haul. And she wanted that too. It took a few vicious fights and a lot of tears, but I finally got her to admit it. Damn. I like Joe. Don't cry, Theo. Don't you fucking dare. I like her too, Theo. A lot. But it's better this way. No, it isn't. Nothing is better this way. Nothing will ever be better. Ever again. Silence settles over us then. A silence so crushing I can hardly breathe. Eventually I open my mouth and realize too late that I have no idea what will come out. The words tumble out of me anyway. You didn't ask how Brooke's doing. Her jaw tightens. I don't know why I said it. I knew where it would lead. But I just couldn't stand that silence a moment longer. I needed to replace it with something. Anything. Even a fight. No, I didn't. Why not? Because, like I said earlier, I didn't invite you here to argue. Who says we're arguing? She takes a deep preparatory breath and crosses her arms, mouth set in a firm line. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Alright, Theo. How is Brooke? Not great, if you even care. Her back is acting up again. It always does when the weather changes. I see. Her doctor won't even give her anything for it anymore. He just looks at her like she's got 3 heads. Her mouth tightens further, and I see the tip of her snout twitch. You'd go with her to the doctor? Yeah, I do. She hates driving, I've told you that before. Yes, you have. Not enough. The terrible sound still crouches in between our words, waiting to lunge. You know, you can at least pretend to care. I do care, Theo. Liar. I feel the sneer split my face and tug viciously at the raw red scar. Anger pokes through her careful, patient facade, and I pounce, determined to drag it out of her. Well, whatever. Not like it matters, right? She's only my fucking girlfriend after all. I guess nobody's girlfriend matters to you anymore. What? I'm lost. Theo, what? She bangs her mud down the counter and takes a step towards me, hackles bristling. I flinch before I can stop myself. I see the shadow of my father in her, in the harsh sit of her shoulders and the thunderous ripple of her brow. Alright, Theo, if you really want to start shit, let's fucking start it. Does that girlfriend of yours have a job yet, or is she still just cashing your checks? No, not yet, but she's looking. Bull fucking shit, she's looking. Well, her back, and why should she bother? She's not you, after all. Her meal ticket, her chauffeur, her side piece, her personal fucking punching bag. Oh. Well then. You don't know shit about anything. Petulant, whiny, infantile. You sound like an idiot. I know a toxic relationship when I see one, Theo. I've been in more than a few myself. This isn't like that. It's incredible, really, the shitty way she treats you. It's like she's trying to push you away. And the worse she gets, the tighter you hold on. You don't... She closes in, sweeping aside my objections with furious ease. Where's your breaking point, Theo? It wasn't the insults. It wasn't the abuse. It wasn't even the other guys. Fuck. Oh, she's cheating on him. Is it when she gets you evicted from your apartment? I know your rent money's going to her. What the fuck do you want me to do? You want me to just give her up? Like you give up Joe? My voice cracks. A shameful, high-pitched whine. Like a bawling child. Fucking pathetic. I draw a sharp hissing breath and hide my head in my paws. No tears, Theodore. For fuck's sake, pull yourself together. After a brief silence, I feel her take another step closer. Her voice, when it comes, is softer now, though just as unforgiving. You wouldn't be giving up. You'd just be moving on. And it's way past time you moved on. Him? I can't look at her. I can't. You know how I feel about her. Honestly, Theo, I'm not sure I do. And I'm not sure you do either. Good point. What happened, Theo? Years ago, when she really started getting wild, you were so ready to break things off. I remember how happy, how relieved you were when you told me. And then... Wait! I thought that was the abuse he got from his parents. Was that from her? I thought the abuse came from his parents. Wait, it goes back to what his mom said, that men can't handle pain. Because he took that to heart. And that's why hasn't even left her, because he wants to be strong. And that's why he keeps saying, don't cry, Theodore, get your shit together during this conversation, because he wants to man up. It's the toxic masculinity in him. That's why. Holy shit. I have to look at her. I have to. Otherwise, she'll never believe me. But I just can't. The pity in her eyes makes me want to scream. I love her, Em. You don't even know what that word means. If you did, you wouldn't be throwing it around like that. Theo, when are you going to stop punishing yourself? When I no longer deserve it. Thanks for the coffee. My chair clatters and squeaks as I get up to leave. I'm halfway through the doorway when I feel an iron paw grip my shoulder. Theo, I have another follow-up appointment this Friday. My whole body freezes solid, shot through with ice. Like a fox in headlights. Like a corpse who hasn't realized he's dead. I want you to be there. I think you should be there. 1,000 crumbling pillars, collapsing with anguish and white-hot agony, but not even a whisper of breath. Please, Theo? Please do this for me? Okay, I'll be there. Neither of us believe me. 8 o'clock sharp. I'll pay for your parking. Alright. Dead air. Hang time. A million torturous seconds before the drop and the crunch. Before the unraveling. Before the dreaded, inevitable, inconceivable unraveling. Men can't handle pain. Why was I clocking it? Why do I clock things so well in this game? God damn it. Fuck! The picture goes white as winter snow. The reel spins endlessly, clattering film turning round and round and round. Over and over and over again. Forever. I will never forget. God damn. She said she had a doctor's appointment. Was that the wait. We don't really know how MJ died. Did she die of like a disease? Like cancer or something? And that was the appointment that was her official diagnosis? Or did she get into a car accident the day of that appointment on her way? I don't know. I think it'll be revealed soon, but obviously Theo feels so much guilt because he literally flaked on her for that. It's not said, but it's implied. This is insane. This is fucking insane. Anyway, let's continue. Alright, I'm back in Leo's voice again. Yay. I'm blinking my eyes open, slowly becoming aware of myself again. A harsh mechanical will still echoes in my head, and my chest feels tight, clenched close to my core. A raw, gnawing feeling, like I did something wrong. Really wrong. Though the details of the dream are already slipping away, her face is fixed in my memory, like a ghostly image burned into a screen. MJ. I feel the steady warmth of her arms around me, and my chest tightens further. No tears, Leo. No tears. Gather yourself, it's time to be normal. Without moving, I scan the room. Still nighttime. Or early morning, I suppose. It certainly didn't feel like I'd been asleep long. Just moments ago, I was drifting off to the sound of Theo's soft breathing. A sound I no longer hear. I rise as quietly as I can and peek over the top of Theo's bed. Empty. The bathroom door is open, clearly empty as well. Strange, I didn't hear him leave. For some reason, it was hard to imagine Theo moving so silently, creeping gently over my sleeping frame in the dark. What do I do now? I looked down at the rumpled sheets on the air mattress, then back up to Theo's empty bed. I silently pull on my clothes and enter the bedroom, pulling the door shut behind me. Let's try downstairs first. I pass by the wall of photos on my way down the stairs. I stop, of course, at one in particular. There they both are. Theo's boyish face looked so strange without that jagged star. I wonder, how many opportunities did he get to smile like that? Truly, how many moments did he experience that filled him with joy? I hear clattering of mud from the kitchen, and the telltale squeak of a familiar wooden chair. I sweep down the remaining stairs and pad towards the sound. Why does it always feel like the eyes in that photo are following me? I don't know, is that going to, like, be explained? Actually, no. Are we ever going to get an explanation as to why you are dreaming about people's past memories? With every route, it keeps happening. Like, Leo, what are you? I don't know if they're ever going to explain that. A part of me wishes they explain it, and a part of me wishes they don't. I like a good mystery, but considering this isn't a mystery novel, I don't know. I just want to know. I'm curious. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Sure enough, it's him, sitting in his usual spot. The fox is tapping aggressively at his phone, eyebrows furrowed, a full mug of coffee getting cold in front of him. He looks almost as tense as I feel. Something must have happened. Theo? Everything alright? Oh yeah, I forgot. We had to help the old you from one of the adjacent apartments. Her name was Diane, I think. He continues hammering at the screen, offering nothing further. Generally unsure what else to do, I decided to make some coffee as well. Maybe that would help me think. I make my way slowly over to the coffee machine. I find myself almost tiptoeing, not wanting to disturb whatever he's doing. The gurgling coffee pot seems to take days to fill. Finally, with a steaming mug in hand, I settle down in what has become my seat. Fragments of the dream still smolder like hot coals. I was just here in this kitchen years ago, and so is he. It's strange. I feel her absence now. I feel it plainly. Is this how he always feels, living in this house? We sit quietly for some time. I sip my coffee, he ignores his. Eventually, I can't contain it no longer. Crushes about her bubble up like boiling water, and I can't hold them back anymore. I open my mouth and... I think Diana, the old you in number 27, is still in her apartment. Oh. The table falls silent again, save for Theo's frenzied tapping. Are you talking to her now? No. If she even has a cell phone, it would be dead by now. I'm talking to the fucking Robinsons in number 30. The venom in his voice jumps out for only an instant before he tucks it neatly away again. This anger feels new, sharper and cleaner than the rage evoked by his parents. Who must they be to have earned such ire from Theo of all people? Are they... Across the street from her, yes. Another long moment of silence. Theo breaks it by setting his phone firmly on the table, face down. He looks right into my eyes, and suddenly I see the barely contained fury, the panic, seemingly mere moments from breaking loose. They won't agree to let her stay with them. That woman is almost 90 years old. She is tiny and real thin. If she stays in that house much longer, it's gonna kill her. Well... I try to keep my voice from shaking. I know his anger isn't directed at me, but I feel flattened by it all the same. I see the shadow of her in his posture. Just as he saw his father in her. Ooh, we get that connection now. Damn. Maybe we pay her a visit and see if she's alright. She's not. I went over there earlier today and banged on the door and all the windows until she answered. She says she wasn't leaving the house until she knew she had somewhere else to go. Only now do I notice that coat draped over the back of his chair. The melted snow still clinging to his fur in patches. How long has he been awake? When I don't immediately reply, he snatches up his phone again and resumes tapping with renewed ferocity. Think, Lee, you've got to say something. I don't know if you've already done this, but you could call the Robinsons, instead of texting. Maybe here in your... Theo shakes his head jerkily, no longer able to contain the anger in his voice. If I do that, I won't be able to stop myself from yelling at them. I believe him. From his expression, it feels like he's about to yell at me instead. Well, maybe they need to be yelled at a little bit. Maybe they deserve it. No. The volume of his voice rises, the tone sharpening to a lethal point. I know Tom Robinson. I know what kind of person he is that will only make him double down. In fact, that's exactly what he's waiting for. The moment I start shouting at him, he'll take it as proof that he was right all along. Theo begins to tap his foot loudly on the floor, with such force that the table starts to shiver slightly. I rack my brain, trying to think of something else to suggest. I want to help, but I don't want to make him more upset. Well, what if we brought her here? I mean, I don't want to invite people to your house without your permission, but... Theo raises a paw and cuts me off sharply. You don't understand. I physically shriek into my chair, eyes dropping deep into my steaming coffee. Why do the words you don't understand hurt so badly? Even on her best day, I'm not sure we could get her up the street, not with this much snow. And she's been sitting in that fucking house for 3 days. He shouted now. The Robinsons live across the goddamn street. Given her condition, it would be a miracle if we could even get her there, and they won't open the fucking door! On the last word, he slams the table with a paw, and some lukewarm coffee splashes out of the forgotten mug. The room is very silent now. The kind of silence that only makes itself known after shattering noise. Theo shifts down to his brown spattered paw, perhaps remembering a similar scene long past. His expression curdles into a turbid mix of emotions, all fighting for dominance. There's one thought, however, I can see clearly, reflected in his glistening eyes. No tears, Theodore. Pull yourself together. Damn! All this out of context. This hurts. This hurts. In this silent moment, the eye of the storm, I feel deeply connected to him in ways I didn't before. One by one, his complex feelings come into focus, his inscrutable countenance unraveling before my eyes. I feel his anger, of course, royally close to the surface. I feel a rage that's been building and building for years, ebbing and flowing, and sometimes abating, but never truly vanishing. It scares him. It frightens him to his core. He fears that one day the dam will burst. That rage will surge right past his defenses, crashing down on him and those around him. Like a tidal wave, or a blizzard. Tied tightly to that rage, concealed just behind his thunderous mask, I see his feelings of helplessness, of uselessness. The dreaded Halloween fear that, no matter what he does, it will never be enough. That fear brings a singular pain, simultaneously sharp and dull, stabbing and crushing, piercing swiftly like a knife and overwhelming slowly like a creeping rot. But if you look beneath it all, if you plunge your paws into the fear and the sound and the fury and search for the source, you'll find love. Love is the source. He fears that his love would go to waste, and he rages at a world that would waste it without thought. I feel that love as strongly as I felt her embrace. I feel plainly his deep desire to help this woman, even if no one else will. And I feel my own desire to help them both, in whatever small way I can. In the end, it's really that simple. I want to help, so I will. I swallowed the lump in my throat and forced air through the tightness in my chest. Theo, let's call the Robinsons. We'll talk to them together. If they hear from multiple neighbors, it might help to convince them. Theo, there is no reason why you have to do all of this yourself. You never have to do anything yourself. Let me help you. He closes his misty eyes and grits his teeth. No tears. We sit together at Theo's old kitchen table. 2 cold cups of coffee and what feels like the entire universe separating us. With only the barest effort, I reach across the universe with my paw and place it on top of his. He doesn't pull away. Here, now, frozen in time, my anxiety ebbs, and I look directly into his face again. Feeling my eyes on him, he opens his. Those warm, burnished brown eyes are as soft and rich as his snowy fur. I could bury myself in them like the softest of blankets. I could be happily lost in those eyes, safe and secure until the end of my days. I want him to turn his paw over. I want to feel our palms touch. I want him to caress the tip of my fingers with his. But I don't want to ask him. I don't want to speak. Not now. Not in this perfect, unending moment where... Theo's phone buzzes, vibrating the table. Our eyes instinctively flick towards it, breaking contact. In an instant, the universe collapses. The space between us shrinks again, and the awareness of how close we are crashes down on me all at once. I feel a hot flush shoot through my face. Theo gently removes his paw from under mine and picks up the phone, and then sets it back down and slides it across the table towards me. His expression is more even now, more like the Theo I've come to know over the past few days. Well, shall we? Shall we give them a call? Right. This is what we're doing right now. Come on, Leo, focus up. Yes, let's. I'll start, just so they know I'm present. No complaints here. With a surprising surge of confidence, I hit the call button. And said confidence immediately begins to ebb as it rings. And rings. And rings. On the 7th ring, they finally answer. Yes. A gruff male voice, halfway to angry already. Good morning, Mr. Robinson, correct? Oh god, I forgot how much I hate talking on the phone. Who is this? My name is Leo, and I'm sitting here at the kitchen table with Theo from down the street. I and several other neighbors have been staying here in his house while the power is off. It's nice to meet you, even if it's just over the phone. Likewise. His tone says otherwise. So, I take a deep breath and get down to business. The old woman in number 27. Silence. I know you and Theo have been talking about her situation. We have, yes. Grudging, non-committal, approaching annoyed. Alright then, great. We are, of course, very concerned for her. A 90-year-old woman alone in a freezing cold house without... She's 87! He interrupts. An 87-year-old woman alone in a freezing cold house without help or power. Theo and I are genuinely concerned she won't make it through the storm. Silence. Mr. Robinson, are you still there? Yes, of course I am. I'm waiting for you to get to the point. What a bitch! Billy doesn't warrant to a conversation with this guy, and I can already see why Theo was so angry. It's his tone, I realize, more than what he says. He gives me nothing to work with, besides the very pointed impression that I'm wasting his time. Fine, I'll get to the point then. We are asking you as friends and neighbors if you can let us stay at your house for a few days, at least until the storm clears up and the power comes back on. I just don't see why that's necessary. Is this guy a fucking idiot or just a giant asshole? I looked up at Theo, incredulous. He shakes his head, massaging his temples and clearly holding back grim laughter. I warned you about him, he mouths to me. As I said before, we are worried she won't survive the storm. She's lived in that apartment for decades and never had any problems. Yes, but she's never been 87 years old before. Have you ever even met Diana? No, I haven't, but I don't see how. She is the most stubborn woman I have ever seen in my long life. Hell will freeze over before she does. I guarantee you she doesn't want your help. Whether she wants it is besides the question, Tom. Theo speeds up, graciously taking the baton from me. I stifle a sigh of relief. I spoke with her earlier today. She's lost even more weight since I saw her in October, and she was shivering and swaying like a reed. The most recent weather update said the storm would let up by the end of the week, but every forecast so far has been wrong. Most of the city is still on total lockdown, and there's been no word from the mayor about snowplows, let alone electrical repair. We've most likely got 5 more days completely snowed in, and it could be another week before people get their power back. Quite honestly, Tom, I don't think she'll last another 2 days. That's your medical diagnosis, eh? Woo! Voice of Tom is exhausting, damn. Tom, if you'd like to come and see her yourself, I'd be happy to escort you across the street for a visit. Theo bites back, a keen edge now playing in his voice. It's not a long walk, after all. There's no need for that sort of tone, Theodore, especially not when asking someone a big favor. Theo is right. Tom jumped on the first hint of anger with a truly obnoxious glee. Clearly he'd been waiting for the whole conversation. The fox opens his mouth to retort, teeth bared, but I jump in and cut him off, holding up a paw. Mr. Robinson, how can we work this out? A long pause. What do you mean? He sounds almost disappointed. You were correct in that we were asking you for a big favor. After all, it's no small gesture to house a neighbor in their time of need. I know it's a lot of work and a lot of stress. Not everyone has time, space, and patience to welcome strangers into their home. I'm not pointedly at Theo. So, how can we help you with this? After all, there's no reason why you should have to do it alone. His eyes widen slightly, and he gives me a small smile. What needs doing before you can take her in? If you're worried about her health while she's with you, we've got a medical professional on hand. If you're concerned about food, we've got plenty, and a skilled cook to put it all together. We've got strong young paws for shoveling, clearing space, transferring her over. We're trying to save her life, after all. We are more than willing to put in the work for it. So, what needs doing? The words float so freely, I even surprised myself. This is far and away the most eloquent I've ever been over the phone. Though the bar has been set pretty low. Theo looked impressed, too. I try not to think about how giddy that makes me feel. I still don't think she'll agree to this. Let us worry about that. All you two have to do is make space for her when she arrives. You too? I realize now that we haven't heard from Mrs. Robinson at all. Was she sitting quietly in the background, listening to our conversation, keeping her thoughts entirely to herself? Well, I suppose. I jumped on that hesitant acceptance immediately. Great. Thank you very much for your kindness, Mr. Robinson. We'll start getting ready to head over right now. Right now? Yes, right now. We want to get her out there as soon as possible. We'll be there within the hour, so please, be ready for us. Now hold on a minute, This time it's my turn to let him flounder in silence. And God does it feel good. My wife hasn't time to tidy up, so... His last pathetic excuse peers up before I can even respond. We hear a rough sigh crackle through the phone. Alright, within the hour. Excellent. Looking forward to meeting you in person very soon. Goodbye. I firmly hanged up the phone. and it's just the two of us alone again. How did I do? I think you did phenomenal! His praise immediately makes me smile, and I cover my mouth with a paw to hide it. Certainly better than I did. If it was just me talking to him, he would have hung up the moment I call him a shit-eating holier-than-thou fuckface, and we'd be even worse off than we are now. God, you aren't kidding. He really is the fucking worst. Always has been. We have not so quietly hated each other for as long as I can remember. He and Diana hate each other too. Tom doesn't see eye to eye with anyone, not unless they're willing to put him on a pedestal. And then they're looking up at him from the ground. Exactly. What about his wife? I know she didn't say much. Theo's eyes drop to his lap. No, she never does. It's difficult to get a read on her at the best of times, especially when Tom's around. He tends to eat up all the air in the room. Maybe we can talk to her directly once we get there? I'm sure she'll be easier to work with than him. Hard to say. In that house, what Tom says goes. She sees ground to him on every issue, no matter how small. In that way, she reminds me of my mother. Oh. Try as I might, I can't think of any other response. Well... Theo stands, his chair breaking the silence. We can talk shit about him later. Right now, we've got work to do. If you'll give me a hand with waking the others. I only now realize that I just volunteered everyone else to help without their knowledge. Oops. In fact, I had volunteered the crew to do pretty much everything. Tom would barely have to lift a finger. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Theo reassures me as I read my expression. I'll take the blame if you like. You can say it was me who volunteered everyone. I stand as well, laughing softly. They'll never believe me. We know there's no way you ask for help like this on your own. Oop. But the read though, that was a read. His ears droop. I realized too late that I spoke too quickly and too flippantly. That was uncalled for, sorry. No. Unfortunately, you're quite correct. It just hurts a bit to hear, that's all. Seeing the look on my face, he elaborates, waving a paw. It's fine, I'm fine, you're fine. No harm done. We've got more important things to worry about right now anyway. With only the slightest bit of difficulty, we get everybody out of bed and downstairs in just a few minutes. The mood is muted, due to the early hour, but tightly focused. All of us are clearly ready to do what needs to be done. Okay, everyone have your phones? We all nod. I'm guessing we'll need shovels once we get there. I have two sitting outside. They're plastic, but the metal ones are all in the garage and we don't have time to dig them out. I have a metal one in my place. So do I. Great, you two go fetch those. Stick together. You never know what could happen in weather like this. Meet us at 27 as soon as you can. Got it. Sure. Theo nods once again and opens the door, ushering us into the barely blasting wind. Woo! So this is what we're gonna start for today. I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but come on. You know we're gonna get back into it later. You know what? I still want to find that CG. You know what? Let me find the CG real quick. Let's see what Artemis is up to. This is still the search for the CG that I need. As I watch the living room, I see the Blue Jay sitting in one of the chairs by the front windows. His headphones are in, and he's staring out at what little he can see while sipping from his steaming mug. A bit of quiet music and snow watching might be nice. I walk over to the bird, and he turns towards me. I motion to the chair next to him, pulling out my own headphones. He nods and turns back to the window. No words required. Nice. I've done plenty of small talk already today. Wonder what he's listening to. Probably something loud, judging from his outfit. The chair is ludicrously comfy and fits me like a glove. I can't help but let out a slight purr as I sink into the luxurious cushions. His eyes flit to me, then back out the window. Oops. Did he hear me? Nah, no way. Any reasonable volume would have drowned me out completely. I popped the headphones in. What best suits this comfortable evening? What song fits well with warm clothes, soft chairs, and a full belly? Oh, I know! The familiar guitar chords sweep me away in an instant. I love this chair. I love this song. This moment is so perfect I can't help but hum along quietly. The purr returns, mixing the notes into a gently rumbling melody. I open my eyes and realize that Artemis is looking right at me, somewhat expectantly. I pull out one earbud. Sorry, did you say something? I said you have a nice gentle voice. Do you sing? What? Oh, my bad. I didn't think you could hear me over your music. The bird pulls out both headphones. Nothing was playing. I just like having them in sometimes. Oh. Do you sing? He asked again, with almost the same intonation. Me? Obviously, who else is here? No, not really. I mean, you know, now outside the shower. Fair enough. He turns back to the window again. Thanks, though. For the compliment, I mean. Obviously, what else would you be thanking him for? Here's the truth. I wouldn't mind if you kept going. No pressure, obviously. I think I'm good for now. Do you? Do I sing? No. I can't tell how this is going at all. It was so much easier to talk to him when Ollie was here. Maybe it's time to bail on this conversation. I'm about to open my mouth when... Would you mind sending me the link to that song? Thank God. Not at all. There you go. Here goes nothing. Hey, do you want to swap playlists or something? I can tell you've got pretty good music taste, so... Sure. He answers immediately, and I get a link by text not 5 seconds later. Jackpot. I think I found my way into this conversation. Whoa, 15 hours? That's one of my shorter ones. Figured it would be better to lead with than some of the others. I checked out his profile, and my eyebrows climb higher and higher up my forehead as I scroll through his playlists. He has hundreds of them, all dozens of hours long. My eyes catch on certain names as they fly by. March 12th, 1342, Claim My Padded Cell, Awful Virtues, Supreme International 21st Century Neck Injury Measurements 4. How do you keep track of all of these? He shrugs. I don't, mostly. I haven't listened to some of them in years. I just keep making new ones because it's fun and I enjoy it. There's probably some repeat songs on some of them, but whatever. Seems like you've got something for every mood. He nods. That's the goal. He shifts his sitting position, fluidly crossing his legs, and then says, completely deadpan, I want to listen to every piece of music ever made before I die. I chuckle, despite his serious expression. Every piece of music? Most of them aren't that good, you know. I'll be the judge of that. Anyway, bad music can be the best teacher. If you can pinpoint what you can hate about something, you know what not to do in the future. That's a pretty optimistic way to view it. My mind shifts back to a concert I went to with a friend in college. I didn't know the band, but agreed to go anyway. Bad move, they were dog shit. I spent the whole night drinking in a corner of the bar, thoroughly miserable but not wanting to ditch my friend. Guess he's more forgiving when it comes to music. Not that you could tell by the way he looks. Not to stereotype, but he doesn't dress like someone who would listen to country or classical. So, sounds like you write music yourself, on top of being a chef too. Artemis rolls his eyes and nods once. I do a bit of everything. Master of none, though. Probably would be better off if I stuck with just one interest. That's so cool, though. I want to hear more. What kind of music do you write normally? Have you done any of it published yet? Like I said, a bit of everything. And no, not in the way that makes me money. Not that that's the most important thing. But anyway, you still owe me a playlist. I know our conversation changed when I see one. Guess he doesn't really want to talk shop with me just yet. Oops, what kind do you want? I start scrolling through mine. Shit, none of my names are as creative as his. Something that gives me a good idea of your taste overall. It's okay if it's not mood consistent. Okay, maybe I'll put 2 or 3 of them together then. As long as you don't judge too harshly. He shrugs and smiles at me. My first Artemis smile. Directed only at me. Sardonic, sure. Teasing, yes. Handsome? Absolutely. No promises. At that moment, both of our phones buzz. It's Hunter in the group chat. Looks like a GIF. I regret giving him my number. I laugh, thinking of Hunter sprawled out on the floor, scrolling through GIFs to send. Oh, he's not so bad. He's fine. He speaks curtly, but without malice. Our phones buzz again. This time, it's Rofi, with another GIF. I consider him you in the chat. I'm considering you in the chat. My thoughts exactly. Might get us in trouble later, though. I suppose we'll suffer through, won't we? All things considered. He lifts out the pitch-black window. It could be much worse. Definitely. I think about my canceled flight and shiver slightly. I was supposed to leave town today. Had planned to be at the airport by 9 a.m. Artemis turns back towards me, hints of sympathy shown on his stoic face. Oh, sorry to hear that. It's fine. When I think about being snowed in at the airport for God knows how long, I shake my head, as if to dislodge the thought. I'm happy to be here, really. That gets another smile out of him, much warmer and gentler than before. I am as well. Theo's a great guy, and he has a lovely home. And it comes with a talented bird chef. This time, I am rewarded with a quiet chuckle. Slowly but surely, I'm chipping away at that impassive demeanor of his. Well, thank you, Leo. His phone buzzes again, this time accompanied by a short jingle. I watch his face soften even more as he unlocks it. Honestly, he's in the same house as me, but still insists on texting. I hazard an obvious guess. Ollie, my baby. The bird nods and begins typing out a response. By the way, thanks for backing me up earlier, when Ollie was being anxious about his nickname. Oh, sure. I mean, I was just being honest. I really don't think he has to worry about Theo being judgmental, though I guess I understand his reasoning. Artemis shakes his head. It's this new fixation of his. I honestly don't know why. He's always known by Ollie, and never had any problems with it until recently. Not sure what's changed. Though he does his best to hide it, his worry is palpable. So you've known each other for a while then? Not as long as you and Rofi. It's been about 4 years, I think. How did you two meet? If you don't mind my asking. He shakes his head a bit dismissively, eyes glued to the phone screen. It's not a very interesting story. We went to the same college, and eventually we ended up living on the same street. He's a good dino, if a little stubborn. Stubborn? Not sure I've seen that side of Ollie yet, although... I guess I just see that, with all the stuff he made you guys bring over. Artemis shakes his head again, as the message sent sound plays and he tucks the phone back into his pocket. No, I'm afraid that was my idea. His heat and power were off, but he kept saying that he didn't want to leave it all behind in the cold, so Leo and I offered to help carry it. It seemed like the easiest way to get him out of the apartment, which might otherwise have been a struggle. He still made a fuss, of course. Some days I think that boy would literally freeze to death before he asked anyone for help. Even me. I see. Artemis' story casts this afternoon in a new light. I picture Ollie, huddled and shivering in his freezing apartment, too nervous to reach out to anyone. If not for Theo, that might have been me. Do me a favor, yeah? I refocus once again on the bird sitting across from me. Don't tell Ollie I said that. He likes it when I worry about him, but only in specific ways. And not too much. And not when he doesn't feel like being worried about. Of course, your secret is safe with me. Thanks, Leo. Tiredness suddenly washes over me. It's been a very eventful day after all, especially after all the cleaning and packing I did yesterday, in preparation for the flight. I yawn real big, remembering at the last second to cover my open mouth with a paw. Looks like it's bedtime. With that warning, Artemis stands, readjusting the cushions on the seat after vacating it. I figured you'd be as tired as I am. It's been a very long day. Oh, yeah, I guess I am. Sorry. Don't apologize. I'm usually in bed by this time anyway. Really? Huh. You didn't seem the early to bed, early to rise type. It takes all my willpower to resist making an early bird joke. I'm planning on getting up by 7:30 to 8 and making breakfast. Join me if you like. Or if you'd rather sleep in, I'll keep it warm. I know Ollie won't be up early. Wow, thank you. I'll see how I feel in the morning, how about that? Fine by me. Finished fixing the chair, he gives me another nod and a hint of a smile. Good night then. Sleep well. What an interesting bird. He keeps a lot of surprises under that brusque veneer. If I can get him to open up more, I wonder what else will come spilling out. I yawn again, settling further into the comfy chair. No, come on. Theo's gone to the trouble of setting up a bed for you. You can't sleep here. Reluctantly, I extricate myself from my cushioned paradise and lumber towards the den. Through my sleepy haze, the small sitting room looks even cozier than it did before. I notice a pile of extra blankets in one of the chairs, alongside my travel bag. Guess Theo moved it for me. So far he's been an excellent host. Gotta remember to thank him tomorrow. And maybe apologize again for asking about the photograph? Theo's face lingers in my mind as I start getting ready for bed. His tired eyes, his easygoing smile. It seems a little less convincing now I've caught a glimpse of what's behind it. I shut the doors, closing myself off from the rest of the house, and breathe a small sigh of relief. Everyone has been friendly and welcoming, but being so social has been exhausting, and I've had very little time to myself. I yawn once more and fish some pajamas out of my bag. At least I can sleep in tomorrow. The air mattress is an air mattress, but it's not uncomfortable. It's certainly better than my freezing bed back home. Regardless, my body doesn't seem to care. Sleep overwhelms me in an instant. I barely have time to realize I forgot to brush my teeth. Gross. We got some extra dialogue, but we still don't have that goddamn CG! It's cool now that since we had Theo's perspective in the dream sequences, that we get a better understanding of his character and his outbursts. Because back in Rofi's routes, we didn't have that context, but now that we have the context, Leo was able to read him like a fucking book, and that was incredible. And we all know that the next video is gonna be just the ever-perilous journey to get to Diana's house, just to deliver her to the Robinsons. I wonder how that's gonna go. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the game in the description below if you want to go play for yourself, and I'll also be leaving links to my Twitter and Blue Stay if you want to go support me on those platforms. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Zid the Red Panda made for the February Game Jam called When You're Mine. Please don't show your support to it. If you do enjoy it, maybe consider rating and commenting on it on itchio. We love reading those. It makes our day. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!